Pravesh Varman.
So, very good evening, all the participants. Today, let us try to understand the various provisions regarding insolvency professionals, insolvency professional entities, insolvency professional agencies, and then information utilities. So, first of all, let us try to understand how these entities are formed. Suppose you are an insolvency professional. So if you are an insolvency professional, then what are the formalities required actually? So this is the first question. So let us try to understand it by way of sections and regulations. So KB Kumarji, any section to support this?
Section.
Yes. So suppose we want to read it from the bare code. What are the formalities for registration as an insolvency professional? So what is the section, governing section?
Section 206 and 207 and 208, sir.
Okay, section 797. Insolvency professionals. So this is the section. So Sudhakar ji, please read from section 206. This is section 206.
Yes, sir.
And prior to that also, when you read section कौन सा वो? Section 3 है क्या?
Section 3 में भी है ना, sir?
In section 3. So we can start from section 3 and section 3 subsection 19. It says
Yes, sir.
insolvency professional.
Insolvency professional.
Yes, insolvency professional.
यहाँ से लिया सर मैं.
हाँ जी?
यहाँ से लिया सर मैं.
Yes, insolvency professional means a person enrolled under section 206 with an insolvency professional agency as its member and registered with the board as an insolvency professional under section 207. But here you will note one thing, that there is no mention of an insolvency professional entity in definitions. Why it is so? Because earlier insolvency professional entities were only being recognized under IBC, but now they are being registered also. But there has been no amendment in the Act since 2021. So what they did it, they amended it by way of a regulation. And they included, they replaced the word his by it to include insolvency professional entities also. So now we can read section 206. Yes, please. Please read this section 206.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Section 206. Enrolled and registered persons to act as insolvency professionals. No person shall render his services as insolvency professional under this code without being enrolled as a member of an insolvency professional agency and registered with the board.
Yes. So here, what they are saying? But they have not amended it here. They have said no person shall render his services. So his is used for living persons only.
Right, sir.
है ना?
Yeah, yes, sir.
But when you read the regulation, so they will say they have replaced the word his by with its.
It's okay.
Now section 207. So let us finish these sections and then we'll go to the regulations.
Right, sir. Registration of insolvency professionals. 1. Every insolvency professional shall, after obtaining the membership of any insolvency professional agency, register himself with the board within such time, in such manner, and on payment of such fee as may be specified by regulations. 2. The board may specify the categories of professionals or persons possessing such qualifications and experience in the field of finance, law, management, insolvency, or such other field as it deems fit.
Now 208.
Right, sir. Functions and obligations of insolvency professionals. 1. Where any insolvency resolution, fresh start, liquidation, or bankruptcy process has been initiated, it shall be the function of an insolvency professional to take such actions as may be necessary in the following matters, namely A fresh start order process under Chapter 2 of Part 3, B, individual insolvency resolution process under Chapter 3 of Part 3, C, corporate insolvency resolution process under Chapter 2 of Part 2, C, prepackaged insolvency resolution process under Chapter 3A of Part 2, D, individual bankruptcy process under Chapter 4 of Part 3, and E, liquidation of a corporate debtor firm under Chapter 3 of Part 2. 1A, where the name of the insolvency professional proposed to be appointed as a resolution professional is approved under Clause E of subsection 2 of Section 54A, it shall be the function of such insolvency professional to take such actions as may be necessary to perform his functions and duties prior to the initiation of the prepackaged insolvency resolution process under Chapter 3A of Part 2. 2. Every insolvency professional shall abide by the following code of conduct. A. To take reasonable care and diligence while performing his duties. B. To comply with all requirements and terms and conditions specified in the bylaws of the insolvency professional agency of which he is a member. C. To allow the insolvency professional agency to inspect his records. D. To submit a copy of the records of every proceeding before the adjudicating authority to the board as well as to the insolvency professional agency of which he is a member. And E. To perform his functions in such manner and subject to such conditions as may be specified.
So these are the sections 206, 207, 208. 208 we find a reference quite common that the insolvency professional shall act in accordance with the provisions, section 208. So insolvency professional regulations. So these are the regulations.
Yes, sir.
आईपीए
Assignment.
सर एक चीज पूछना था, आईपीए कई सारी हैं सर?
आईपीए 3 है ना,
एक सीए की होगी, एक सीएस की होगी, तीसरी
एक सीएमए की है।
सीएमए।
ICMA. Third one is
हाँ,
ICMA.
हाँ, तो इन तीनों
So
की है एक एक।
we can sir, for myself I can become the member of ICA, you not?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, आप किसी के भी मेंबर, तीनों में से किसी के भी बन सकते हैं,
ठीक है,
इवन चेंज भी कर सकते हैं,
ठीक है।
जैसे कॉलेज होता है,
इसका
यू कैन
फायदा
टेक
क्या है सर?
एडमिशन इन एनी कॉलेज।
इसका फायदा क्या है सर? मान लो कोई सीएसओ के सीए वाली में जाना चाहे, उसको कोई फायदा है या कुछ नहीं है? सही।
नहीं नहीं, फायदे की देखिए, सबके फंक्शन सेम है,
ठीक है।
फंक्शन तो सबके सेम है ना,
हाँ।
इस फंक्शंस में कोई फर्क नहीं है। वो सबका क्या काम है, दे आर मॉनिटरिंग द मेंबर्स बेसिकली, यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू फाइल सर्टेन रिटर्न्स विद देम। भाई जैसे सपोज यू वांट टू डू लॉ, तो आप क्या करोगे, यू विल गेट योरसेल्फ एनरोल्ड विद द कॉलेज, आपको रोल नंबर मिल जाएगा, ठीक है ना, एंड देन यू विल बी अटैच्ड विद द यूनिवर्सिटी। तो यहाँ पर भी वही है, यूनिवर्सिटी इज ओनली वन, IBBI, और ये 3 कॉलेजेस हैं।
ठीक है जी।
ठीक है जी, ये हमारे रेगुलेशंस आ गए। यस, इंसॉल्वेंसी एग्जामिनेशन। ठीक है जी, तो यहां से पढ़ते हैं, रेगुलेशन नंबर 3 पढ़ते हैं एक बार जरा, पढ़िए जरा सुधाकर जी।
यस सर।
यस,
तो थोड़ा बड़ा करते हैं सर।
ना बड़ा हो गया अब,
यही है सर।
अभी नहीं हुआ,
ठीक
मैंने तो बड़ा किया है।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है सर।
अब
So starting from regulation 6 and 5, sir, 7 for IP.
नहीं, IP रेगुलेशंस नंबर 3, अभी मुझे तो बड़ा नजर आ रहा है, आपको नहीं
सर
नजर?
3 नहीं दिखाई दे रहा, 3 नहीं है, 6, 5, 7 से है सर।
ऐसे कैसे, मैंने
ये
तो 3 निकाल
हमारे
रखा है।
यहाँ इस पे नहीं दिखा रहा सर। रेगुलेशन 6 and 5, 7 और 4 IP सर, यहाँ से दिखा रहा है।
एक मिनट, मैं स्टॉप शेयर करके दोबारा करता हूँ। ऐसा कैसे होगा? ये बेयर कोड से पढ़ रहा हूँ ना मैं। आप देखिए।
Yes, sir. Chapter 2, Insolvency Examinations.
यस, अभी क्लियर है? अब बड़ा नजर आ रहा है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ, वो कई बार क्या होता है, मल्टीपल शेयर्स होती है ना फाइल। यस प्लीज।
Right, sir.
हम्म
Yeah. Regulation 3,
हम्म
Insolvency Examination, Chapter 2, 1. The board shall, either on its own or through a designated agency, conduct a national insolvency examination in such a manner and at such frequency as may be specified to test the knowledge and practical skills of individuals in the area of insolvency, bankruptcy, and allied subjects. 2. The board shall, either on its own or through a designated agency, conduct a limited insolvency examination to test the knowledge and application of knowledge of individuals in the areas of insolvency, bankruptcy, and allied subjects. 3. The syllabus, format, qualifying marks, and frequency of the limited insolvency examination shall be published on the website of the board at least 3 months before the examination.
So, actually, national insolvency examination never took place.
Right, sir.
So, only limited insolvency examination is there since the very beginning.
Right, sir.
And they can change the syllabus with 3 months prior notification.
Yes,
Like
sir.
they have changed the syllabus with effect from 5th of May.
Correct, sir.
And they issued the notification on 5th of February.
Correct.
So 3 months prior. Already notification has come for the new examination.
Yes, sir.
But till 4th of May, we can appear in the old syllabus. Although there is not much change, only they have included the updates up to 4th of February 2024 in the 2025 in the syllabus.
Yes, sir.
Although there are not much changes, but still, earlier the cutoff date was 31st March 2023. Now the cutoff date is 4th of February 2025. That is the only change, with some changes in the case laws, like 72 case laws are there. As of now, there are only 60 case laws and things like that. Now, eligibility. Yes, please.
Sir, is it likely that there could be national insolvency examination in the future, sir?
Maybe they introduce it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right, sir. Registration of insolvency professionals. Eligibility.
Mhm.
4.1. No
Mhm.
individual shall be eligible to be registered as an insolvency professional if he is a minor, he is not a person resident in India.
Actually, this problem came with one of our students. He was a non-resident. He passed the examination, but they did not enroll him. They did not register him
Right.
because residential status you have to see as per the FEMA. Resident in India, there is a definition, no? By how you will know that a person is resident in India or not? Is there any section? The answer is yes. Resident in India. Definition, section 3, subsection 24. Person resident in India shall have the meaning as assigned to such term in clause 5 of section 2 of FEMA Act. So if you are not a person resident in India, then you cannot be registered as an insolvency professional. Yes. Next point, C.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Does not have the qualification and experience specified in Regulation 5 or Regulation 9, as the case may be.
So let
Has
us do
been
Regulation 5 and Regulation 9 also. What is Regulation 5? This is Regulation number 5. So Regulation 5 says,
Qualification and experience.
yes. So it says, either you have to pass the limited insolvency examination, okay, within 12 months before the date of his application for enrollment with the insolvency professional agency. Basically, whenever you pass the examination, they will give you a mark sheet. And on that date is written, obviously. So within 12 months of that, you have to enroll yourself with the IPA. If you do not enroll yourself within a period of 12 months, then You have to appear in the examination again. Yes, next point.
Right, sir. Has completed the has completed has completed a pre-registration educational course as may be required by the board from an insolvency professional agency after his enrollment as a professional member and has successfully completed the national insolvency program as may be approved by the board, successfully completed the graduate insolvency program as may be approved by the board, experience of 10 years in the field of law after receiving a bachelor's degree in law, 10 years in management after receiving a master's degree in management, or 2-year full-time postgraduate diploma in management, or 15 years in management after receiving a bachelor's degree. I come under the third category, sir.
Yes.
The Sarkari Naukar.
Uh-huh.
From a university established or recognized by law or an institute approved by All India Council of Technical Education, or 10 years of experience as chartered accountant registered as a member of ICAI, company secretary registered as a member of ICSI, cost accountant registered as a member of ICMAI, abhi cost accountants likha sir, then advocate enrolled with the Bar Council. Explanation 1, for the purposes of this regulation, only professional or managerial experience shall be considered. For the purpose of computing the total experience of 10 or 15 years under subclass 3, there shall be included experience of any period under subclass 4. The total experience of 10 years under subclass 4, there shall be included experience of any period under any of the items of that subclass.
तो मतलब क्या है?
Real estate.
मतलब ये है कि suppose you have been practicing as a chartered accountant, say for 5 years, and then you enroll yourself as an advocate, because sometimes people obtain the membership of Bar Council.
Right, sir.
So 5 years as CA, 5 years as advocate, you are eligible. This is the meaning.
Right, sir.
Yes, illustration.
Yeah. Where an individual has experience of 9 years under subclass 3 and experience of 6 years under subclass 4, he shall be considered having experience of 15 years for the purposes of subclass 3.
तो सब क्लास 3 देख लेते हैं. सब क्लास 3 क्या? सब क्लास 3 ये है. एक्सपीरियंस है ना. 15 years in management.
Experience of 10 years in the field of law after. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
इसका मतलब क्या हो गया? इसका मतलब ये हो गया.
That's a cumulative. Cumulative is accepted.
बस हाँ.
Right, sir.
सपोज आपको जैसे ये सब क्लास 3 है. सब क्लास 3 में 15 years का एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए. सपोज फॉर 8 years you have been working in management cadre, and then 6 years as chartered accountant, so you are eligible. This is the meaning. Total 15 years.
Right, sir.
Illustration 2. Yes, illustration 2. Yes, अभी नजर आ रहा होगा.
Yes, sir. Where an individual has experience of 6 years under item A of subclass 4 and experience of 4 years under item D of subclass 4, he shall be considered as having total experience of 10 years for the purposes of subclass 4.
Like suppose you have been a chartered accountant for 6 years and 4 years as an advocate, so that will be clubbed. This is the meaning.
Right, sir.
Yes.
So application, ये पढ़ना sir, application for certificate of registration.
Yes.
Yes, yes, sir. An individual enrolled with an insolvency professional agency as a professional member may make an application to the board in Form A of the second schedule to these regulations, along with the non-refundable application fee, 20,000 rupees to the board.
Yes. So
नहीं सर, हमें सर 9 पढ़ना था सर. 5 और 9 does not have the qualification or experience specified in regulation 5 और regulation 9. either case में भी हम 4 नंबर पढ़ रहे थे ना सर, उसमें आया था जी.
वो तो हो गया ना. अब तो 5 भी पढ़ लिया, अब 6 पर हम
तो सर हमें 9 पढ़ना है 5 के साथ ना. 6 तो बाद में पढ़ेंगे ना. पहले तीसरा चौथा करेंगे तभी तो 6 पढ़ेंगे. हमने चौथे की सी क्लोज किया था जी. उसमें 5 और 9 का जिक्र है. तो 5
चलिए
हमने
9 पढ़ लेते हैं।
हाँ
No, 9 is omitted.
ओमिटेड, चलो ठीक है, खत्म हो। अच्छा जी, सही था।
चलिए,
चलिए सर,
अभी हम कहाँ पर थे?
सी क्लोज था सर, चौथे का सी क्लोज।
ये आप
has been
illustration 2
convicted
पढ़ रहे
is,
थे सर.
हाँ ठीक है।
We were going through
हाँ तो
illustration
ये हो
2.
गया। अब चलिए, और इससे पहले 9 था क्या?
पता नहीं सर क्या था, आपको पता होगा
हाँ,
सर।
नहीं,
ये 9
ये
यहाँ होगा,
हमारा
एक बार देख लेते
सी
हैं।
पढ़े सर.
हम्म
Does not have the qualifying experience specified in regulation 5 or regulation 9 as a case. वो अभी पढ़े थे सर.
हम्म
We read regulation 5 ना सर अभी.
हाँ हाँ। एक्चुअली वो पता क्या था, वो कहानी ये थी, रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर ए लिमिटेड पीरियड। जब ये नया नया आईबीसी आया था ना, तो इन्होंने
हाँ.
ये कहा था कि भाई जिनका भी 15 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है ना, उनको हम एनरोल कर देंगे, एंड दे कैन टेक द एग्जाम लेटर। दैट वाज द थिंग, दैट वाज फॉर ए लिमिटेड पीरियड।
Okay.
सो नाउ दैट पीरियड हैज गॉन। So they said with which he is enrolled on or before 31st December, because this law came in December 2016 only. So they said
Yes, sir.
whoever is enrolled as chartered accountant, company secretary, or cost accountant and advocate, so for them, they allowed them to be registered actually, even without taking the examination, because insolvency professionals were required. So that was the concept, basically. Just a minute. हाँ सुनील जी, हाँ जी हाँ जी। हाँ जी। यस, सो दैट वाज द 9 नंबर। ठीक है, चलिए।
Right, sir. D. Has been convicted by any competent court for an offence punishable with imprisonment for a term exceeding 6 months or for an offence involving moral turpitude and a period of 5 years has not elapsed from the date of expiry of the sentence.
So actually, there are two things here. Number one, conviction. Conviction for an offense punishable with imprisonment for a term exceeding 6 months,
Right, sir.
or for an offense involving moral turpitude. So in case of an offense involving moral turpitude, period is not important, because two are disjunctive. First, offense punishable with imprisonment for a term exceeding 6 months. ठीक है। सेकेंड, फॉर एन ऑफेंस इन्वॉल्विंग मॉरल टर्पिट्यूड। मॉरल टर्पिट्यूड में कोई मिनिमम नहीं है कि भाई इतने 6 महीने होना चाहिए, कुछ होना चाहिए। ठीक है। एंड ए पीरियड ऑफ 5 years हैज नॉट elapsed फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ एक्सपायरी ऑफ द सेंटेंस। ठीक है। सपोज यू हैव बीन sentenced to imprisonment also, and then 5 years have elapsed, then also you are eligible. ठीक है। Provided that if a person has been convicted of any offense and sentenced in respect thereof to imprisonment for a period of 7 years or more, he shall not be eligible to be registered. ठीक है। मतलब यह है कि आपका imprisonment हो गया कितना का, 7 साल या उससे ज्यादा, तो then
Mhm.
you shall not be eligible to be registered. Clear point? हाँ
Sir,
मंदिर
there will be, sir, there will be certain people who will take the exam. They can take the exam, है ना sir, but they cannot be registered.
that is a different, yes.
Exam तो दे सकते हैं ना sir?
एग्जाम तो कोई भी दे सकता है, एग्जाम में तो इवन मतलब एग्जाम में तो किसी को मना ही नहीं करते वो, दे अलाउ द
Right.
एग्जाम टू एवरीवन।
सर एक और बात सुनो,
हम्म
इफ ए पर्सन कन्विक्टेड फॉर 6 month, तो देन ही अगेन पास द एग्जामिनेशन और उस पुराने वाले पे चलेगा।
They convicted less than 6 months, sir.
भाई देखो ऐसा है, पहली बात तो ये है कि जब कन्विक्शन हो गया 6 महीने, 5 साल उसको वेट करना पड़ेगा।
हम्म
जब 5 साल वेट करना पड़ा तो वो क्या कहता है, वो तो कहता है 12 मंथ्स में आप आईपीए के साथ एनरोल कराओ, तो 12 मंथ्स तो गए ना,
हम्म हम्म, हम्म,
तो फिर तो दोबारा ही करना पड़ेगा।
हम्म।
क्यों? क्यों मंजी जी?
ऑलरेडी पास होके एनरोल हो चुका था ना सर, इसलिए पूछ रहा था।
हम्म।
वो ऑलरेडी पास करके एनरोल हो चुका था, 4 साल उसने एक्सपीरियंस भी था, फिर वो कहीं मामले में फंस गया।
नहीं,
तो
एक बार
तब
इसको शुरू से पढ़ते, एक मिनट। क्या कहता है ये? नो इंडिविजुअल शैल बी एलिजिबल टू बी रजिस्टर्ड। ये तो ये दिस इज द इनएलिजिबिलिटी बिफोर रजिस्ट्रेशन।
हम्म।
यहाँ पर तो एलिजिबिलिटी, अगर बाद में क्या हो गया वो अलग बात है।
वही पूछा था ना सर मैं. No,
हैं?
anybody can take the exam, but they cannot be registered if their case is filed, if they have undergone the punishment.
चलिए नेक्स्ट पढ़ते हैं।
Right, sir.
हम्म।
Has been convicted by by any competent court for an offense punishable with imprisonment. ये हो गया sir. Provided that if a person has been convicted of any offense and sentenced in respect thereof to imprisonment for a period of 7 years or more, ये भी हो गया. He is an undischarged insolvent or has applied to be adjudicated as an insolvent. He has been declared to be of unsound mind or he is not a fit and proper person. Explanation: for determining whether an individual is fit and proper under these regulations, the board may take account of any consideration as it deems fit, including but not limited to the following criteria: integrity, reputation, and character, absence of convictions and restraint orders, and competence, including financial solvency and net worth.
Yes. So for this purpose, they are considering the CIBIL score also. So suppose your CIBIL score is not good, so then also they will not register you as an insolvency person.
सर पहले वाला इंटेग्रिटी, रेपुटेशन एंड करेक्टर, ये सर क्या मैटर है?
भाई इंटेग्रिटी का मतलब कोई रिश्वत लेते हुए पकड़ा गया,
अच्छा जी।
इस तरह का हो सकता है ना। अब रेपुटेशन में मान लो कोई उसकी बैड रेपुटेशन है, या कैरेक्टर में कुछ हो गया, इस तरह से वो चीज है। भाई इंटेग्रिटी क्या है? इंटेग्रिटी ऑनेस्टी का ही दूसरा रूप है एक किस्म से। यस।
Right, sir. No insolvency professional entity recognized by the board under Regulation 13 shall be eligible to be registered as an insolvency professional if the entity and or any of its partner or director, as the case may be, is not fit and proper person under Clause G of Subregulation 1.
So as I already told you,
Right, sir.
this requirement of registration of insolvency professional entities came at a later date. Earlier they were being recognized only. So now they have done this amendment that if you want to register yourself as an insolvency professional entity, then this clause is, so they will apply to the directors or partners. ठीक है ना जी?
Right,
भाई
sir.
इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल एंटिटी तो एक फर्म है,
Hmm.
तो उस पर तो अप्लाई होगी नहीं। जो उसके पार्टनर या डायरेक्टर है उन पर ये क्राइटेरिया अप्लाई होगा, जो क्लॉज जी का क्राइटेरिया है, नॉट ए फिट एंड प्रॉपर पर्सन।
Right, sir.
यस।
Qualifications and experience. Subject to other provisions of these regulations, an individual shall be eligible for registration if he
हाँ,
has passed the limited insolvency examination within 12 months before the date of his application for enrollment with the insolvency professional agency, has completed a pre-registration educational course as may be required by the board from an insolvency professional agency after his enrollment as a professional member, and has successfully completed the NIP.
ये हो ही गया, ये तो पढ़ लिया हमने, पहले भी पढ़ लिया है ना।
Yes sir, पढ़ लिया सर, हो गया ये।
5 नंबर तो पढ़ लिया ना हमने पूरा।
हाँ यस सर।
नाउ 6 पढ़ना, जब यहीं पर थे ना, हम कह रहे थे कि मंजीत जी कह रहे थे 9 पर चलिए। यस।
Sir, application for certificate of registration. An individual enrolled with an insolvency professional agency as a professional member may make an application to the board in Form A of the second schedule to these regulations, along with a non-refundable application fee 20,000 rupees to the board.
Yes.
ये
So
पढ़
fees is 20,000 rupees. So they
Yes,
may
sir.
ask you the question on form number, Form A, and then fees of 20,000 rupees.
Right, sir. And second schedule, sir. Form A of the second schedule. Then an insolvency professional entity eligible for registration as an insolvency professional under sub-regulation 2 of regulation 4 may make an application to the board in Form AA of second schedule along with a non-refundable application fee of 2 lakh rupees.
So actually there are two types of insolvency professionals. Insolvency professional individual, form number A, fees 20,000. Insolvency professional entity, form number AA, fees 2 lakhs.
Right, sir.
And this is non-refundable.
मतलब ये individual professional entity, will it be a corporate person, sir?
उसके आएगा, अब नीचे आएगा क्या, कौन कौन बन सकता है एंटिटी.
Sir,
एंटिटी के बारे में विल रीड. हाँ.
right, sir. The board shall acknowledge an application made under this regulation within 7 days of its receipt. The board may require the applicant to submit within reasonable time additional documents, information, or clarification that it deems fit. The board may require the applicant to appear within reasonable time before the board in person or through its authorized representative for clarifications required for processing the application.
Yes.
The certificate of registration. If the board is satisfied after such inspection or inquiry as it deems necessary that the applicant is eligible under these regulations, it may grant a certificate of registration to the applicant to carry on the activities of an insolvency professional in Form B of the second schedule to these regulations within 60 days of receipt of the application, excluding the time given by the board for presenting additional documents, information, or clarification, or appearing in person as the case may be. 2. The registration shall be subject to the conditions that the IP shall at all times abide by the code, rules, regulations, and guidelines thereunder, and the bylaws of the insolvency professional agency with which he is enrolled.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
हाँ जी. Yes. पढ़िए पढ़िए.
Yeah. At all times, continue to satisfy the requirements under Regulation 4.
मंजीत जी, आपके क्वेश्चन का आंसर आ गया. भाई पहले जब था बिल्कुल साफ सुथरा था, बाद में कुछ पकड़ा गया, तो जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट है रेगुलेशन 4 वाली उसको कंप्लीट करनी है. ठीक है जी. मंजीत जी, मंजीत जी,
Sir.
आर यू देयर? Okay, no issues.
ठीक है, sir. BA.
He was asking, suppose a person has been registered or enrolled and thereafter he incurs some disqualification. Suppose he is put to prison. So then also his registration will no longer be valid because it says at all times continue to satisfy the requirements under
Yes,
Regulation 4.
Yes, sir.
So this was the point. This was the question he was asking. Yes.
Right. And his punishment, I mean, the requirement from that time, है ना सर, जब वो जेल को जाता है, जब से शुरू होता है.
Right.
Right, sir. Then undergo continuing professional education as may be required by the board. BB, not outsource any of its duties and responsibilities under the code except those specifically permitted by the board.
Now what they've done is they have changed the word his to its. Why? Because now they are registering the insolvency professional entities also.
Right, sir. Then pay to the board a fee of 20,000 rupees in case of IP is an individual, or a fee of 2 lakh rupees in case the IP is an IPE every 5 years after the year in which the certificate is granted, and such fee shall be paid on or before the 30th of April it falls due.
Yes. So here,
Within 5 years they have to pay 20,000 rupees, sir.
Yes, if it's an individual, then 20,000 rupees.
IPE
And
2
if
lakh.
IPE 2 lakh rupees.
Every
Now,
5 years.
because he paid some fees earlier also, so whether this 20,000 is extra or this is the same.
The same है ना सर.
पहला क्या बोला? पहला बोला non-refundable application fees of 20,000 rupees.
Okay, okay.
If we read regulation 6, they say non-refundable application fees.
Right, sir.
So that is basically application fees.
Right, sir.
And this fees is a fees.
Fees. This is for every 5 years.
Yes, that is one
मतलब
time.
हर साल का वो 4,000 आता.
हाँ जो भी है.
हाँ, ठीक है सर.
And they have tried to explain it by way of illustration also.
वो पढ़ो सर.
आप पढ़ लीजिए, और क्या जरूरी है।
Where registration is granted on 2nd February 2022 in the year 2021-22, the fee shall become due on 1st April 2027 after 5 years, that is 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25, 26, 20, 25, 26 and 26, 27, and it shall be paid on or before the 30th April 2027. Right, sir. CA, pay to the board a fee calculated at the rate of 1% of the professional fee earned for the services rendered by it as an insolvency professional in the preceding financial year on or before the 30th of April every year, along with the statement in Form E of the second schedule.
So they are required to pay a fees every 5 years, 20,000 rupees. Then fees calculated at the rate of 1% of the professional fees earned for the services rendered by it as an insolvency professional in the preceding financial year. So every financial year, you are required to pay 1% of the professional fees. जो भी आपका अर्निंग होगा उसका 1% देना है आप।
Yes, sir.
किसको देना है? बोर्ड को।
Oh, right,
नॉन
sir.
रिफंडेबल फीस अलग है, वो
Correct,
एप्लीकेशन
sir.
फीस है।
समझ गया, sir. समझ गया, sir.
है ना? चलिए।
Yes, sir. Provided that for the financial year 2019-20, an insolvency profession shall pay the fee under this clause on or before 30th June 2020. Provided further that for the FY 2021, an insolvency profession shall pay the fee under this clause on or before the 30th June 2021. Right, sir. Next, sir.
चलिए।
Agla page, sir.
Yes. Provided further.
Provided further that where the IP is an insolvency professional entity, it shall pay to the board a fee calculated at the rate of 1% of professional fee earned for the services rendered as an IP in the preceding financial year on or before the 30th of April, 30th day of April every year, along with the statement in Form G of the second schedule.
So form number is important.
Yes, sir.
For IPE, it is form number G, and for IP, it is form number.
For IP, it is Form A, na, sir?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, ये तो रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए है, ये तो एप्लीकेशन के लिए।
आईपी के लिए ई है, ई फॉर्म नंबर ई।
फॉर्म नंबर ई, अच्छा कहाँ लिखा है ये? हाँ यस, फॉर्म ई, इलस्ट्रेशन में लिखा हुआ। इलस्ट्रेशन में आईपी के लिए फॉर्म ई हो गया और इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल एंटिटी के लिए हो गया फॉर्म नंबर जी। ठीक, दोनों को ही 1% देना है, आईपी को भी 1% है और आईपीई के लिए भी 1% ही है। यस प्लीज।
Yes, sir. CB. Pay to the board a fee specified under sub-regulation 2 of Regulation 31A of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, Insolvency Resolution Process for Corporate Persons, Regulations 2016, within a period of 30 days after end of each quarter or upon closure of the processes, whichever is earlier, along with the statement in Form EA of the second schedule.
Now let us read Regulation 31A also. Regulation 31A, Sub Regulation 2 of CIRP Regulations. ठीक है, एक बार CIRP Regulations निकाल लीजिए। CIRP Regulations में रेगुलेशन नंबर 31A, सब रेगुलेशन 2, बुक में से पढ़ लेते हैं, कोई बात नहीं। ये 31A, 31A में क्या बोलता है? रेगुलेटरी फीस। मैं एक बार निकाल ही देता हूं यहां से, यहीं से कर देते हैं। ये आपका CIRP रेगुलेशंस मिल जाएगा आपको 56।
सर लिक्विडेशन प्रोसेस रेगुलेशन सर।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, CIRP रेगुलेशंस, CIRP रेगुलेशन, रेगुलेशन नंबर 31A। ये 31 है,
Regulatory fees.
हाँ, रेगुलेटरी फीस, ये स्क्रीन पर नजर आ रहा होगा आपको, आ रहा नजर? हाँ जी,
31-year regulatory fee. One
है
a
ना? इज इट
regulatory
विजिबल
fee
ऑन योर
can,
स्क्रीन?
sir.
स्क्रीन पर विजिबल है ना?
Yeah, very much, sir.
यस। हम्म।
31-year regulatory fee. One, a regulatory fee calculated at the rate of 0.25% of the realizable value to creditors under the resolution plan approved under Section 31 shall be payable to the board where such realizable value is more than the liquidation value,
हम्म।
provided that this sub-regulation shall be applicable where resolution plan is approved under Section 31 on or after 1st October 2022.
Yes. So regulatory fees also is payable to the board.
सर वो बता रहे वेयर सच रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू इज मोर देन द लिक्विडेशन वैल्यू।
Yes.
अगर लिक्विडेशन वैल्यू कम हो गया तो नहीं देना पड़ता ना सर।
नहीं, लिक्विडेशन वैल्यू कम होगा तो देना पड़ेगा। So if realizable value is more than the liquidation value,
हाँ ठीक
and
है सर,
the
लिक्विडेशन
realizable
कम
value
होगा
also
तो
has got a
1% देना
specific
पड़ता।
meaning here. Realizable value here means the amount paid to the creditors.
हाँ राइट सर।
Hmm.
से बिफोर दिस इट इज 1%।
नहीं, 1% इज सेपरेट, ये 0.25% सेपरेट है।
यस सर,
ये
यस सर।
1.25% होगा मोटा मोटा।
हाँ, 1% तो आपका जो फीस अर्निंग है ना आपका, उसके ऊपर देना है।
करेक्ट
सपोज यू
करेक्ट।
अर्न 1 करोड़ रुपीज, सो आउट
यस
ऑफ
सर,
1 करोड़ यू हैव टू पे 1%, दैट इज सेपरेट।
राइट सर।
इसमें सर
नाउ,
कितना देना मान लो,
हाँ जी,
इसमें कितना देना 0.25 में, ये 1 करोड़ का फिर वो ही।
1 करोड़ से कोई मतलब नहीं, यहाँ तो रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू और लिक्विडेशन वैल्यू को कंपेयर करेंगे आप। तो अगर रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू इज मोर, सो देन 0.25% ऑफ द डिफरेंस।
डिफरेंस के ऊपर ना अर्निंग के ऊपर
हाँ,
सर?
डिफरेंस नहीं, सॉरी, रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू के ऊपर, अर्निंग के ऊपर नहीं है ये वाला,
ये रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू के ऊपर
ये
होगा।
रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू पर है। वेयर सच रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू इज मोर देन द लिक्विडेशन वैल्यू, तभी देना है
लिक्विडेशन
आपको।
सर
वैल्यू,
जो
यस सर।
रिलाइजेबल वैल्यू तो कंपनी के सेट्स की होगी ना, तो फिर इसका क्या लेना देना उसमें।
ऐसा है भाई, वो पता क्या कहता है, वो ये कहता है क्योंकि इसमें ना उसका रीजन है, इट्स ए वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। एक्चुअली व्हेन द परफॉर्मेंस लिंक्ड इंसेंटिव आल्सो हैज बीन गिवन,
ओह हाँ, मतलब दो
परफॉर्मेंस
शेड्यूल
लिंक्ड
थे।
इंसेंटिव टू इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल आल्सो हैज बीन गिवन। तो वो बोल रहा है बस जब उसको मिल रहा है इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल को, तो हमें भी दो, बोर्ड को भी दो, बात ही।
हम्म, ठीक है, लग गई समझ। मैंने देखे सर, दो शेड्यूल देखे हैं, इसमें दो शेड्यूल
हाँ
गिने
हाँ
थे।
भाई, यस प्लीज। तो
जी।
इसीलिए ये एक पॉइंट लगा दिया यहाँ कि भाई जब आईपी को मिल रहा तो बोर्ड को भी मिलेगा, बात ये। यस।
Provided that this sub-regulation shall be applicable where resolution plan is approved under Section 31 on or after so and so. 2. A regulatory fee calculated at the rate of 1% of the cost being booked in insolvency resolution process cost in respect of hiring any professional or other services by the interim resolution professional or RP, as the case may be, for assistance in a corporate CIRP shall be payable to the board in the manner as specified in clause CB of sub-regulation 2 of Regulation 7 of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, IP Regulations 2016.
तो वहां पर क्या बोल रहा है, इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल रेगुलेशंस में सब ये रेगुलेशन नंबर 7 की बात करता है। ठीक है, तो अब हम दोबारा चलते हैं ये आईपी रेगुलेशंस पर। लेट अस गो अगेन टू दी आईपी रेगुलेशंस, आईपी रेगुलेशन नंबर 7।
सर एक और चीज है सर, जो जो फी पे करेगा, क्या उसमें टैक्स की रिबेट वगैरह होती है या नहीं, वो इनको इनकम से ही होगा।
क्या मतलब?
जैसे मान लो मैंने कोई भी बंदा जिसने करोड़ रुपया कमाया और 1 लाख रुपया बोर्ड को दे दिया,
ठीक है।
तो उसमें कोई टैक्स वगैरह की रिपेट होगी कि नहीं होगी?
वो तो आपका बिजनेस एक्सपेंडिचर है ना एकदम से।
बिजनेस एक्सपेंडिचर, ठीक है।
वो
जैसे
तो आपका बिजनेस
मेंबरशिप।
एक्सपेंडिचर हो गया। भाई क्रेडिट साइड में आप 7 लाख वो ले लोगे। वो
इनकम
चीज
निकालने के लिए उसको बांध लेंगे।
है।
इनकम निकालने के लिए उसको घटा देंगे।
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। ये इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल रेगुलेशंस कहाँ पर थे हमारे?
सर जी एथोराइजेशन फॉर
500
असाइनमेंट है सर,
बावन।
7A।
हम्म। वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। ये आपका 752। इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल एजेंसीज। अच्छा, ये इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल्स। ठीक है, तो रेगुलेशंस। अब बार बार इधर उधर नहीं जाएंगे, उसमें दिक्कत हो जाती है, मैंने देखा। अब चलिए मैं आपको वो दिखाता हूँ। वो पॉइंट जो आपका था ना मंजीत जी, उसमें क्या है कि देर इज ए शेड्यूल। तो दैट शेड्यूल टॉक्स ऑफ द फीस पेएबल। वो यहाँ है, ये मैं दिखाता हूँ। वो आप कह रहे हो भाई 0.25 क्यों देना है? तो 0.25 इसलिए देना है इसमें। वो भी आईपी में नहीं था, वो मेरे ख्याल सीआईआर पे रेगुलेशंस में ही दे रखा उन्होंने। ये कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट में था क्या? एक मिनट।
जी सर ड्यूरिंग द कोर्स आ जाएगा वो। मेरा इरादा है ये सर कर लेते हैं, खत्म हो जाए आज
नहीं कोई
रेगुलेशन।
बात, ये जो है ये आपको मिल जाएगा सीआईआरपी रेगुलेशंस में। इन सीआईआरपी रेगुलेशंस इफ यू सी शेड्यूल 2, सो वहां पर है सीआईआरपी रेगुलेशंस में।
ठीक है जी।
हम्म। तो सीआईआरपी रेगुलेशंस में क्या बोलता है? वहां भी परफॉर्मेंस लिंक्ड इंसेंटिव की बात कर रहा है वो। परफॉर्मेंस लिंक्ड इंसेंटिव फॉर वैल्यू मैक्सिमाइजेशन। तो इसको मिलना 1%। 1% इसको मिल रहा है आईपी को, तो वो बोर्ड कह रहा है भाई हमें भी दे दो 0.25%। पॉइंट वहां पर है।
हम्म।
Sir, they have used the terms performance linked incentive, sir.
Yes, that is in CIRP regulations. CIRP
रेगुलेशन।
regulations, you see Schedule 2. In Schedule 2, they have described this thing. ये हो ही गया हमारा। अब यहाँ पर है हम लोग।
सर सभी रेगुलेशन के शेड्यूल्स हैं ना सर, अलग अलग?
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
तो ये सर बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड नहीं बना दिया, एक जगह सारा कुछ दे सकते थे।
हाँ वो तो है ही, अब क्या करें। ये क्या हुआ? ये रेगुलेशंस का नोटिफिकेशन भी अलग अलग डेट पे हुआ है।
और तभी एग्जाम हार्ड है। अब ये तो अभी हमें पता नहीं लग रहा है जब फॉर्म ए कौन से शेड्यूल में आएगा और किसका है ये, अभी तो इसको याद करने में।
नहीं, यू नीड नॉट रिमेम्बर द शेड्यूल नंबर, वो फॉर्म ही पूछेगा ज्यादा से ज्यादा।
ठीक है जी।
हम्म।
सर ये कौन सा फॉर्म था जो आप कह रहे थे जी शेड्यूल 2 में?
शेड्यूल 2 में फॉर्म नहीं है, देर इज ए मेंशन रिगार्डिंग दिस परफॉर्मेंस लिंक्ड इंसेंटिव फॉर वैल्यू मैक्सिमाइजेशन,
ठीक है।
शेड्यूल 2 ऑफ सीआईआरपी रेगुलेशंस।
हाँ ठीक है सर।
हाँ जी, ये हो गया। चलिए, नाउ दिस फीस, ये वाला फीस और देख लीजिए, सी बी पढ़ लीजिए एक बारी।
ये भी पढ़ चुका ना सर?
सी बी हो गया, ओके, ठीक है।
तो डी पढ़ू सर, डी।
हम्म।
आप पढ़िए सर।
हम्म।
Explanation is quarter means a period of 3 months commencing on the first day of January, April, July, or October of a financial year. D. Not under services as an IP unless he becomes a partner or director of an insolvency professional entity recognized by the board under Regulation 13 if he is not a citizen of India.
So if you are not a citizen of India, you cannot be registered as an insolvency professional as an individual, ठीक है, बट यू कैन बिकम ए पार्टनर और डायरेक्टर इन एन आईपीई, ठीक है। दोनों में डिफरेंस है। सपोज यू आर एन इंडिविजुअल एंड यू आर ए नॉन रेजिडेंट, देन दे विल नॉट ग्रांट यू रजिस्ट्रेशन, बट if you are a member or partner of an IPE, then you can render services as an insolvency professional. क्लियर है?
Yes, sir.
तो ये वाया मीडिया दे दिया आप, जो
हाँ.
जो सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया नहीं है, ये रेजिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया, रेजिडेंट की बात नहीं हो रही यहाँ, सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया की बात है। सपोज यू आर एन अमेरिकन सिटीजन, ठीक है ना,
Yeah.
तो यू कैन रेंडर सर्विसेज एज एन इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल इफ यू बिकम ए पार्टनर और डायरेक्टर ऑफ एन आईपीई।
Right, sir. Then take prior permission of the board for shifting its professional membership from one insolvency professional agency to another after receiving no objection from both the concerned IPS. तो मंजित जी का आंसर
This is
यहाँ
just like migration in college. Suppose you get admission in college, so you can migrate to some other college. This is something similar. You have to take NOC from both. Yes.
Then take adequate steps for redressal of grievances.
Hmm.
Maintain records of all assignments undertaken by it under the code for at least 3 years from the completion of such assignment. Abide by the code of conduct specified in the first schedule to these regulations. And HA, in case of an IPE is an insolvency professional, it shall allow only a partner or director, as the case may be, who is an insolvency professional and holds a valid authorization for assignment to sign and act on behalf of it.
Actually, you may get an assignment in the name of the IPE also. Okay. So in that case, the signing has to be done by an individual only. ठीक है, and also valid authorization for assignment to sign and act on behalf of it, because this insolvency professional entity is a non-human body. ठीक है,
Right.
ये तो ह्यूमन नहीं है, तो साइन किसने किया है एक्चुअली, दैट पर्सन हैज टू बी आइडेंटिफाइड। तो साइन कौन करेगा, कोई पार्टनर या डायरेक्टर हु होल्ड्स ए वैलिड ऑथराइजेशन फॉर असाइनमेंट।
ये आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन में रहता ना सर?
नहीं, आर्टिकल्स नहीं है इसमें, ये है कि ये तो रेगुलेशंस ही हैं, दीज आर द रेगुलेशंस। यस,
ओके सर। Abide by such other conditions as may be imposed by the board.
तो ये है कंडीशन। यस, provided that clauses BA and clause D shall not be applicable to an insolvency professional which is insolvency professional entity। BA और D applicable नहीं है। BA और D देख लेते हैं। BA क्या है, ये है BA। BA क्या है, अंडरगोइंग कंटिन्यूइंग प्रोफेशनल एजुकेशन। तो OCPE प्रोग्राम किसको अटेंड करने हैं, IP को अटेंड करने, IPE को नहीं अटेंड करने, ठीक है ना, नेचुरल है। और डी, डी क्या है, डी आपका ये है कि not render services as an insolvency professional unless he becomes a partner or director of an IPE recognized by the board if he is not a citizen of India. ठीक है? Yes. और
IPA में directors, partners, वो they have to undergo continuing education, ना
yes,
sir?
naturally. हाँ और क्या? हाँ चलिए 7A authorization for assignment.
Yes, sir. An insolvency professional shall not accept or undertake an assignment after 31st December 2019 unless it holds a valid authorization for assignment on the date of such acceptance or commencement of such assignment, as the case may be, provided that provisions in this regulation shall not apply to an assignment which an insolvency professional is undertaking as on 31st December 2019 or the date of expiry of his authorization for assignment.
So actually the validity of authorization for assignment किस डेट को देखनी है? On the date of such acceptance or commencement of such assignment. ठीक है?
Right, sir. So refusal to grant certificate. If after considering an application made under Regulation 6, the board is of the prima facie opinion that the registration ought not to be granted, it shall communicate the reasons for forming such an opinion and give the applicant an opportunity to explain why its application should be accepted within 15 days of the receipt of the communication from the board to enable it to form a final opinion. The communication under sub-regulation 1 shall be made to the applicant within 45 days of receipt of the application, excluding the time given by the board for presenting additional documents, information, or clarifications, or appearing in person, as the case may be. After considering the explanation, if any, given by the applicant under sub-regulation 1, the board shall communicate its decision to accept the application along with the certificate of registration or reject the application by an order giving reasons thereof within 30 days of receipt of the explanation.
ठीक है ना? तो either they will accept or they will reject within 30 days of such receipt of such explanation. Yes. Issue and surrender of authorization for assignment and disciplinary proceedings. Yes, please. Regulation number 10. पढ़िए.
10. An insolvency professional agency shall inform the board when it issues or renews an authorization for assignment, suspends or cancels an authorization for assignment, revokes the suspension of an AFA, or accepts the surrender of an AFA within 1 working day of taking such action. Oh my goodness. The board shall take note of the information received under sub-regulation 1.
So basically, this authorization for assignment is issued by the IPA.
Yes, sir.
So IPA, whenever it is issues or whenever it renews an AFA, it shall inform the board. Similarly, when it suspends or cancels, authorization for assignment is something similar to certificate of practice. ठीक है ना? If you are not holding a valid authorization for assignment as on the date of acceptance, ठीक है ना? Or as on the date of the commencement of that assignment, you cannot undertake that assignment. है ना? ये हमने पढ़ लिया, अभी पढ़ा था, है ना? Commencement या date of acceptance, Regulation 7A अभी पढ़ा ना हमने?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो अगर कोई कैंसिल होगा या इश्यू होगा या रिन्यूअल होगा तो विद इन 1 day the IPA will inform the board within 1 working day. Yes. Second पढ़िए. The board shall take.
The board shall take note of the information received under sub-regulation 1.
सर
अच्छा, उसके बाद में क्या हुआ? ये जो डिसिप्लिनरी प्रोसीडिंग्स है
सर,
हाँ जी,
इसमें असाइनमेंट तो असाइन तो बोर्ड करेगा, क्योंकि वो बोर्ड की परमिशन लेगा, जब ए जाएगा उसके पास, उसको इंटीमेट करेगा, वो 10 दिन में रिवर्ट बैक करेगा। और ये सर फिर आईपीए का क्या रोल हुआ फिर?
नहीं, देखिए ऐसा है, जो बोर्ड जो है ना, बोर्ड ने क्या, आईपीए से ही मिलना है असाइनमेंट, ऑथराइजेशन फॉर असाइनमेंट। बोर्ड तो रजिस्टर कर रहा है आपको एज एन इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल।
नहीं, जब ए सर ए को जाता, ए किसी को नोट भेजता है ना सर, वो कौन है, बोर्ड है या आईपीए? कि मैं इस बंदे को, मेरे को बंदा चुन के दो जी।
क्या
मान लो आईपीआर, सर आईपीआर हटा दिया, जा किया, उसकी वैलिडिटी की वो मिसकंडक्ट तो नहीं है, वो सर किसको देता है? वो किस अथॉरिटी को देता है सर उस वहां?
नहीं, एक मैं समझा नहीं आपकी बात। देखिए ऐसा है, देर आर टू एजेंसीज, एक है सास और एक है जिठानी। मंजीत जी
हम्म
आप समझिए,
हम्म
ये जो आईपीए है ना, ये जिठानी है,
हम्म।
और आईबीबीआई क्या है, सास है। दोनों को ही आपको रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, दोनों को ही आपको जवाबदेही है।
नहीं नहीं, मेरी सर मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि जब हम ए को बोलते हैं, हम नोटिस देते हैं कि हमने ये आईपीआर किया, तो वो कहता ना कि इसके अगेंस्ट कोई, वो कहीं से परमिशन लेता है कि इसके अगेंस्ट कोई मिसकंडक्ट तो नहीं चल रहा है, ये सारी कुछ चीजें इसकी ठीक है, वो बोर्ड ही तो है सर असाइनमेंट के टाइम।
इन दोनों को पता रहता है इस बात का,
पता रहता है।
दोनों को ही। जो ए जो भी एक्शन लेगा,
हम्म
सपोज इट्स कैंसल्स एन ऑथराइजेशन फॉर असाइनमेंट, इट विल
हम्म।
इमीडिएटली इन्फॉर्म द बोर्ड विद इन 1 वर्किंग डे।
हाँ, नेक्स्ट डे वो सुबह सुबह वर्क कर देगा, भैया ये होगा कल। हाँ।
यस, विद इन 1 वर्किंग डे, यस।
हम्म, ठीक है जी।
बेसिकली द बोर्ड जो है ना, बोर्ड के पास, बोर्ड से रजिस्ट्रेशन से रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन है, और इसके पास एनरोलमेंट से रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन है। बोथ
ठीक।
आर हैविंग द इंफॉर्मेशन, बेसिकली यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड इट लाइक दिस।
ठीक है जी। चलिए सर, पढ़िए आगे।
हम्म।
Yes, sir.
ये हो ही गया 10।
हाँ, ये हो गया।
11 हो गया। 11 में बहुत बोलता है इंस्पेक्शन एंड, एक्चुअली पहले क्या होता था, पहले ये जो इंस्पेक्शन एंड इन्वेस्टिगेशन रेगुलेशंस थे ना, ये सबके अलग अलग थे। अब इन्होंने क्या किया, उनको कंबाइन कर दिया। क्योंकि देखो
अच्छा, अभी
इंस्पेक्शन
अलग नहीं है सर ये?
है,
अभी अलग नहीं है सर, इंस्पेक्शन एंड इन्वेस्टिगेशन रेगुलेशंस?
एक्चुअली देखिए, इंस्पेक्शन एंड इन्वेस्टिगेशन में बी ऑफ एन इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल, इट मे बी ऑफ एन इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल एंटिटी, इट मे बी ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन यूटिलिटी, है ना? सो नाउ व्हाट दे हैव डन इज दे हैव
एजेंसी का
क्लब्ड
भी
ऑल
है,
दीज इंस्पेक्शन
एजेंसी
एंड
का भी।
इन्वेस्टिगेशन रेगुलेशंस एट वन प्लेस, because this is being done by the board. Earlier there these were separately included under the respective regulations. जैसे हम आईपी रेगुलेशंस पढ़ रहे हैं, उसमें भी इंस्पेक्शन एंड इन्वेस्टिगेशन था, आईपीए में भी था, आईयू में भी था। अब उन्होंने क्या किया, दे हैव पुट इट एट वन प्लेस, क्योंकि प्रोसीजर तो सिमिलर ही है। आई होप यू हैव गॉट माय पॉइंट। नहीं?
यस सर, यस सर,
यस, नाउ रिकॉग्निशन।
यस सर। Recognition of insolvency professional entities. 12. A company, a registered partnership firm, or a limited liability partnership may be recognized as an insolvency professional entity if its
So
objective is
first
to
thing is that IPE could be a company, it could be a registered partnership firm, it could be LLP. So first of all, regarding the constitution, so it could be either of these. You can suppose you want to form an insolvency professional entity, then it can be either a company or a registered partnership firm or LLP.
right, sir.
Hmm.
If its objective is to provide support services to insolvency professionals or to carry on the activities of an insolvency professional or both,
Hmm.
it has a net worth of not less than 1 crore rupees.
Yes. So you were asking question on this, no? Okay, what are the requirements? So these are the requirements.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
A majority of its equity shares and voting rights are held by insolvency professionals who are its directors in case it is a company.
So if it's a company, then majority of its equity shares and voting rights are held by insolvency professionals. That means the minority could be held by persons who are not even insolvency professionals.
Right, sir.
You can majority is to be held by insolvency professionals. Majority of its equity shares and voting rights. Yes.
So majority of capital contribution is made by insolvency professionals who are its partners in case it is a limited liability partnership firm or a registered partnership firm.
Right.
Majority of its partners or directors, as the case may be, are insolvency professionals. Majority of its whole-time directors are insolvency professional in case it is a company. And none of its partners or directors is a partner or a director of another insolvency professional entity.
So this is also one of the requirement. Like suppose you are a partner in a CA firm. So you could be partner in another CA firm also. But here, if you are a partner or director in one IPE, then you cannot become a partner or director in another IPE. Clear a point here?
So why is that, sir?
Actually, they want to pinpoint the responsibility, no?
Okay.
Suppose you are a director in 10 companies and you sign, then all the 10 companies might be involved, all the 10 IPs might be involved.
Hmm.
Because suppose you were to take disciplinary action, how you will take disciplinary action?
Now,
So that is the point. Basically for pinpointing.
डबल जेपर्डी हो जाएगा,
Hmm.
है ना सर?
Yes.
Yeah. Provided that the insolvency professional entity is recognized before the date of commencement of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India,
Hmm.
IP Second Amendment Regulation 2021
Hmm.
shall comply with the provisions of clauses B and 1. For the purposes of clause B of the sub-regulation, net worth means the net worth is defined under section 257 of the Companies Act 2013. In case of a company, sum of partners' contribution in the capital account and their undistributed profits net of accumulated losses, if any, in case of a registered partnership firm or limited liability partnership.
So meaning of net worth also they have given. What is the meaning of net worth?
Mhm. So, a person eligible under sub-regulation 1 may make an application for recognition as an insolvency professional entity to the board in Form C of the second schedule along with an application fee of rupees 2 lakhs. The board shall acknowledge an application made under this regulation within 7 days of its receipt. The board may, after examination of the application, require the applicant to submit within reasonable time additional
तो
documents.
ये दिस इज ऑलमोस्ट रेप्लिका. अब ये
Similar to
सी
what
में
we have
आपको
done
अप्लाई
earlier.
करना है और डी में आपको वो रजिस्ट्रेशन दे देगा. ठीक है जी. तो ये ऑलमोस्ट सेम है, पहले भी हम पढ़ चुके हैं.
Right, sir.
यस. अब यहां पर पढ़ लेते हैं कि सपोज ए पर्सन सीजेस टू बी डायरेक्टर. ठीक है. ये वाला पॉइंट थोड़ा पढ़ लेते हैं कि विद इन सपोज an individual ceases to be its director or partner, है ना, then also you have to inform him Form F along with a fees of 2000 rupees. Suppose there are 4 directors in the IPE and one of them ceases to be a director, then he has to inform the board within 30 days along
30
with a
days.
fees of 2000 rupees in Form F.
अभी कॉर्पस फंड्स अच्छा है सर आईबीबीए के पास.
हाँ वो तो अच्छा है ही.
कॉर्पस फंड यूज कहाँ करता है?
यूज तो ये सारा ये पैसे वैसे देता नहीं है इनको, एम्प्लॉयज को सैलरी वैलरी ये वो सारा सेल्फ सफिशिएंट है ना बेसिकली.
हाँ
भाई
करेक्ट.
गवर्नमेंट
गवर्नमेंट
कहती है
का
हमसे
कोई
कुछ
नहीं.
मत लो, अपना खर्चा तो खुद चलाओ ना.
ठीक.
उनके भी तो एम्प्लॉयज वगैरह है ना.
हाँ नहीं तो गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट देना पड़ता.
हाँ बस वही.
So there, I think there's no grant and they're self-sufficient, like you said. Yes, sir. मार्जी कहीं गए. Right, sir. ये पढ़ा सर.
हाँ हाँ.
Shall I read it, sir?
नाउ यू लेट अस स्किप. कुछ इसमें से स्किप कर सकते हैं. इसमें यह है कि इन केस ऑफ एन आईपी ऑल्सो यू हैव टू पे फीस एट द रेट ऑफ 1% CA.
Right.
ठीक है, ऑफ द टर्नओवर फ्रॉम द सर्विसेज रेंडर्ड बाय इट इन द प्रीसीडिंग फाइनेंशियल ईयर. ठीक है. नाउ कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट फॉर इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल्स. कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट में क्या है? इंटेग्रिटी एंड ऑब्जेक्टिविटी, इंडिपेंडेंस एंड इम्पार्शियलिटी. Then in certain cases you have to indicate, if you have to disclose the relationship. ठीक है. ये relationship disclosure is also one of the important points. ये थोड़ा सा देख लेते हैं. ये पढ़ा था हमने, नहीं पढ़ा था अभी कुछ दिन पहले?
ये नहीं पढ़ा ना सर. ये
नहीं पढ़ा ना. हाँ तो ये देख लीजिए relationship disclosure.
हाँ.
Because suppose you are an insolvency professional or you are a professional appointed. So then you have to inform your relationships.
Yes, sir.
You may be related to the creditor. You may be related to the corporate debtor. ठीक है ना? You may be related with interim finance provider. You may be related with prospective resolution applicant. So within 3 days, you have to disclose this relationship. This is the meaning.
Right, sir. Shall I read it, sir?
Yes, yes.
An insolvency professional shall disclose its relationship, if any, with the corporate debtor, other professionals engaged by it, financial creditors, interim finance providers, and prospective resolution applicants to the insolvency professional agency, of which he is a member within the time specified hereunder. Relationship of the IP with and disclosure to be made within 3 days. Corporate debtor, 3 days of his appointment. Registered valuers, accountants, legal professionals, other professionals appointed by him. Disclosure made within 3 days. Appointment of the professionals. Financial creditors, the constitution of committee of creditors. Interim finance providers, the agreement with the interim finance provider. Prospective resolution applicants, the supply of information memorandum to the prospective resolution applicant. If relationship with any of the above comes to notice or arises subsequently of such notice or arising. Sir. An insolvency professional shall ensure disclosure of the relationship, if any, of the other professionals engaged by it with itself, the corporate debtor, the financial creditor, the... Yes, sir. हो गया सर?
हाँ. Or the interim finance provider.
The interim finance provider, if any, and the prospective resolution applicant to the insolvency professional agency, of which he is a member within the time specified as under.
वो same है. Within 3 days.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Right, sir.
चलिए. Now, what is the meaning? The relationship shall mean any one or more of the following 4 kinds of relationship. ये relationship है. तो पढ़ लीजिए kind of relationship क्या मतलब?
Right, sir. Kind of relationship in category A, where the insolvency professional or other professional, as the case may be, has derived 5% or more of its gross revenue in a year from professional services to the related party. B, where the IP or the other professional, as the case may be, is the shareholder, director, KMP or partner of the related party. Category C, where a relative, spouse, parents of spouse, sibling of self and spouse and children of the IP or the other professional, as the case may be, has a relationship of kind A or B with the related party. Category D, where the IP or the other professional, as the case may be, is a partner or director of a company, firm or LLP, such as an insolvency professional entity or registered valuer. The relationship of kind A, B, or C of every partner or director of such company, firm or LLP with the related party.
Can you explain point number A, Sudhakar ji?
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, it says that where the insolvency professional or the other professional has derived 5% or more of its gross revenue in a year from professional services to the related. मतलब उनका related party से अगर they have derived 5% or more of its gross revenue, that has to be intimated to the board, sir.
नहीं एग्जांपल दीजिए ना रिलेटेड पार्टी का. रिलेटेड पार्टी का एग्जांपल ये है. Suppose there is an interim finance provider. Okay. So now you are deriving 5% or more of your gross revenue from this interim finance provider. ठीक है? Suppose it's a finance company. ठीक है? You are an insolvency professional. On the one side is the insolvency professional. On the other side is the interim finance provider. And you are deriving 5% or more of your gross revenue from that interim finance provider. or say from that prospective resolution applicant, then you have to disclose this relationship. This is the meaning, because it might involve conflict of interest. Clear a point nahi?
Yes, yes, sir.
Now suppose where the insolvency professional or the other professional, as the case may be, is a shareholder, director, KMP or partner of the related party. Suppose this prospective resolution applicant is a company and you are director in that company, or you are shareholder in that company, or you are key managerial personnel. Then you have to disclose this relationship, that okay, I am related with this person within 3 days. ठीक है? Let me explain it to you by way of an example. Suppose Balaji Finance Company is there. ठीक है? Now this Balaji Finance Company is an interim finance provider. ठीक है? And suppose your turnover is 100 crore rupees as an insolvency professional or as a consulting firm. ठीक है? Out of that, 5% or more is being received from this Balaji Finance Company only. And you avail interim finance from that person, from Balaji Finance Company. Then within 3 days of the entering into agreement with the interim finance provider, or 3 days of the appointment of the other professional, whichever is later, so you have to disclose this relationship. This is the meaning basically. Because as an insolvency professional you might be required to interact with various personnel. CD के साथ interaction होगा, फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर्स के साथ होगा, इंटरिम फाइनेंस प्रोवाइडर, प्रोस्पेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन एप्लीकेंट्स, इनका जो भी रिलेशनशिप है वो आपको डिस्क्लोज करना है. ठीक है? रिलेशनशिप किस टाइप का हो सकता है? आपका कुछ फीस वहां से आ रहा है, ठीक है, या आप शेयर होल्डर हो, डायरेक्टर हो, केएमपी या पार्टनर हो, ठीक है, या वेरी रिलेटिव spouse, parents, parents of spouse, siblings of spouse and children of the IP or the other personal in the case maybe has a relationship of kind A or B. आपका रिलेशनशिप नहीं है बट आपकी वाइफ डायरेक्टर है, मान लीजिए you are an IP and your wife is director in a company which is providing you interim finance, then you have to disclose this relationship. Clear a point? So that there is no conflict of interest. ठीक है जी? हाँ जी मंजीत जी.
सर एक चीज समझ नहीं आई,
हाँ बताइए.
जो इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल वो केएमपी कैसे हो सकता है?
क्या?
जो इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल है
हाँ
वो केएमपी कैसे हो सकता है? वो तो प्रैक्टिस में होना चाहिए ना, केएमपी लिखा हो ना सर. वेयर द इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल और द अदर प्रोफेशनल एज द केस में बी इज ए शेयर होल्डर, समझ में आ गया, डायरेक्टर भी आ गया.
नहीं,
के
उसने ना दोनों के साथ यूज किया ना, इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल और सपोज यू आर ए वैल्यूअर,
हम्म,
तो वैल्यूअर में तो आपको कोई जरूरी नहीं ना कि फुल टाइम आपको ऑक्यूपेशन हो, यू में भी केएमपी.
हम्म,
और फिर और दिया हुआ है ना, यू में भी ए शेयर होल्डर, कोई जरूरी नहीं सारी कंडीशन हर एक पर अप्लाई होंगी.
ठीक है.
तो ऐसा हो सकता है ना, सपोज यू आर ए रजिस्टर्ड वैल्यूअर, सो यू में
हम्म,
भी ए शेयर होल्डर इन ए कंपनी.
हम्म,
ये चीज.
ठीक है सर.
और आपका ही नहीं, आपका रिलेटिव भी अगर कोई कनेक्टेड है तो भी बताना है आपको.
जो हमारा रिलेटेड पार्टी वाला वो हमने पढ़ा, रिलेटिव वाला वही
वो
वही
अलग चीज है, यहाँ अलग है, यहाँ स्पेसिफाई किया हुआ है.
जो स्पाउस वगैरह इसलिए दे रखा है सर.
हाँ, स्पाउस, पेरेंट्स, पेरेंट्स ऑफ स्पाउस,
और साथ
सिबलिंग ऑफ सेल्फ स्पाउस एंड चिल्ड्रन. ठीक है ना? इनका भाई बेसिकली बात ये है, ऐसा नहीं कि दोनों मिले हुए हों, इसका पर्पज ये है कि भाई आपने फाइनेंस भी उसी कंपनी से ले लिया, इंटरिम फाइनेंस भी, जो आपके वाइफ से रिलेटेड है कंपनी, समझ रहे हो, या बच्चों से
तक
रिलेटेड है, वो है पंकज.
तक समझ.
इसलिए वो कह रहा है कि डिस्क्लोज करो इस रिलेशनशिप, ताकि मतलब इम्पार्शियल रहे. ये चीज है बेसिकली, आर्म्स लेंथ होना चाहिए. ठीक है जी? ये देखिए 8D, 8D वही जो मैं आर्म्स लेंथ की बात कर रहा था, यहाँ लिख ही दिया इन्होंने पॉइंट. यस. यस सुधाकर जी. An insolvency professional
Yes, sir.
shall ensure टाइमली एंड करेक्ट डिस्क्लोजर।
Insolvency professional shall ensure. Yeah, मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ सर.
पढ़िए पढ़िए।
An insolvency professional shall ensure timely and correct disclosures by it and other professionals appointed by it, and shall provide a confirmation to the IPA of which he is a professional member, to the effect that the appointment, if any, of every other professional has been made at arm's length relationship. मगर ये conflict of interest याद में रखना है ना सर. An insolvency professional shall not influence the decision or the work of the committee of creditors or debtor or other stakeholders under the code, so as to make any undue or unlawful gains for itself or its related parties, or cause any undue preferences for any other persons for undue or unlawful gains, and shall not adopt any illegal or improper means to achieve any mala fide objectives.
So this basically he has to be he has to show that he is acting at arm's length.
Yes, sir.
है ना, there
Professionally
is no
competent.
conflict of interest. ठीक, तो रेस्ट वी
They
कैन
represent
कवर
the correct
टुमारो,
facts or
है ना,
correct.
ठीक है सर.
रेस्ट वी कैन कवर टुमारो। हाँ जी।
ओके सर.
तो कुछ आइडिया
Right,
लग
sir.
गया कि भाई किस तरह से आपको काम करना है। बाकी थोड़ा सा अब पढ़ लिया ना,
Yes,
अब
sir.
हम क्या करेंगे, अगली बार चार्ट से पढ़ लेंगे, पर एक बार ये पढ़ना जरूरी था थोड़ा सा आइडिया लेने के लिए।
सर
ठीक.
मान लीजिए जब पास होने के बाद फिर हमें जो 50 घंटे का जो प्रोग्राम है उसके अंदर भी जाना पड़ेगा ना.
वो तो है, दैट इज प्री रजिस्ट्रेशन एजुकेशनल कोर्स, दैट इज डन विद इन अ वीक्स टाइम एक्चुअली।
तो सर वो क्या करते हैं, उसमें क्या करते हैं फिर
So
ऐसे
they will tell you the practical things. They will tell you like how to file a petition and all those things. So they will tell you the practical aspects. How to appear before the NCLT, how to file various returns. So this they will tell
कोर्ट
you.
का
The
कोर्ट पा के
practical side.
जाना,
हाँ जी।
कोर्ट पा के जाना, ये करना,
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। हाँ, how you should conduct yourself and all those things. Yes. It is also online. सब online है आजकल।
ठीक है जी.
ओके जी, गुड नाइट।
ओके
Good
सर,
night,
गुड
sir.
नाइट सर.
Night, sir. Good night.
गुड
Thank you
नाइट.
and